How much do you like profanity?
No matter.
Because my name for the deck is Kaguya 2. Kaguya is fucking pissed.
Alright, there you go, guys. That's gonna be the name of the deck profile. Successor title. So let's start with the ruler. Who's the ruler?
The ruler is Moon Princess of Stellar Wars, aka Kaguya 2.0.
Alright.
Flips for 2 and X. Spend only Moon Will on X. And when she flips, she turns into a 401,000 flying imperishable ruler that searches your deck for X treasury items and slaps them right into the field. And then she gets 200 extra power for every treasury item that you control. So the goal of the deck is flip Kaguya and 4K your opponent with her immediately.
Alright. Yeah, I can see the stones there.
So stones, we're playing the full complement of 8 moonstones. I want to be able to go to turn 7 or 8 if I can keep control of the board and be able to easily flip Kaguya for 5 or 6 because pretty much that should end the game on the spot.
Did you see what I named myself?
I haven't had too many issues with having to actually use shades for actual colors today. I think I may have paid like 400 over 7 games. So surprisingly, the stone base isn't too bricky, even though we are playing 4 moonlights that could flip and be kind of bad early game.
Okay. So we're going into the deck profile.
All right, so 4 Laves, this is obvious. You need this to kill, and multiples are never bad. I never discard them for producing an extra fire. That's not important to me, because if you get 2 or 3 of them, then that can reduce the amount of treasure items that you need to search with Kaguya to 4K your opponent immediately by 1 or sometimes 2 if you actually do get all 4 regalias are in play, because you float, recover, activate him again, and then just crack your opponent for 4,000. I was playing 5 challenges as kind of just an extra draw engine since we can get it back. We're playing 16 treasury items in the deck. So far today, though, this is the brickiest card. I'm probably going to go down to 1 because you really never want to see more than 1 in your deck, and 1 is fine. So I'm probably going to trim it to get other cards in that I wanted today. Next we have Heavenly Feathered Robe, which is one of, it's a little slow, but it's also one of the better additions that you can get once you flip Kaguya. Because of the way addition resonators work, when they're placed onto the field and not cast from your hand, they can target things that are protected from being targeted. So treasure cats, etc., etc. So these can actually flip, you can flip Kaguya and find these and steal them. They're also useful for being able to grab like that 1 flying blocker if somebody just like tries to stick you with a Hanzo when the turn before you're going to kill them. You can search up 1 robe and the rest of your offensive treasury items and then just steal their 1 blocker so that way you can kill them. Next is Apollo Sphere. This is obviously the reason this deck works. This is a plus 600 power to Kaguya, so ideally, when you J-activate Kaguya for 4, she's minimum 2,800 attack. 400 from every Apollo Sphere, 600 from every Apollo Sphere, 400 from Kaguya herself. Looking at a minimum 28, then you add in Levitain activations and any treasury items that you played in the early game as control elements, and that's how you get to your 4K pretty easily. Next we have Jeweled Branch of the Haurai and Robe of the Fire Ant. These are defensive options, and honestly, when you look at the treasury items that you would want to play in this style of a deck, these are the only ones that fit. They come down early, and they buy you so much time. And the meta is full of Lancelots, which both of these deal with. Cthulhu, which Branch is great against. So it's just an absolutely fantastic package, and also it gives you such a good early game against like everything in the format right now. So absolutely these stay at 4/4 no matter what.
That's fine. Cool.
For Breath of the God, these are basically for protecting Kaguya from anybody who tries to kill her in case we have to do a 2-turn. If we realize that we're under pressure and we need to do a defensive J-activation, which you can do with this deck, and just go defensively J-activate and search up a bunch of branches, robes, and Heavenly Feathered Robes, you can do that, and then you can protect with Breath of the God. Breath of the God will also also be used to protect our one Resonator that we're playing in this list, which is Servant of Kaguya. 3-drop, 4/4 flyer, +4/+4 for every treasury item in the deck. We're playing 16. This thing is never a 4/4 for 3. This is like an 8/8 or God only knows. I have J-activated, had 2 servants, and attacked for 9,600 already. It can happen, and having Breath to protect it when you need to set up, play Servant, and then flip next turn and kill your opponent with Servant plus Kaguya, it's necessary.
Sounds like game.
4 Sign of the Future. So, we're obviously only playing 4 Resonators. So why would we not play this? Like, this card is an absolute blowout. It also provides us a turn 2 play in the case that we flip double Moonlight on our opener. We have no access to color, we can pay 2, set a Sign of the Future into our standby zone. Don't really care if our opponent knows we're playing it or not, we're setting it there to protect ourselves for the longer game. Then we get into a little bit of my tech cards. Because we're low on Resonators, I decided to mess around with Aqua Magic Tempest, which is Water 2, Spell Chant, bounce every Resonator back to their owner's hands. This card overperformed for me massively. Any kind of board stall which you're prone to generate with branches, robes, and robes, you can just break the board stall by flipping their entire board back into their hand, which easily gives you another turn or 2 to get the stones you need to flip Kaguya and instant kill them. 2 Apollo breaks. This card is absolutely fantastic. I won a game today because I had a Resonator with double Ame no Habakiri on it, basically ready to kill me. I was tapped out, but I had an Apollo Sphere on Kaguya, and I banished it in order to just play Apollo Break and kick the Resonator off the field to get the Ames off and completely save me and then kill my opponent the next turn.
So will you put 2 more and take 2 or you just gonna keep it at 2?
So yeah, definitely 2 of the 5 challenges are going to definitely turn into Apollo Breaks because Apollo Break was just so good. The other one, I don't know what I want to do with it. I'm maybe a 3rd Aqua Magic Tempest. The card was really good. I'm also probably going to trim down on Servants of Kaguya because there were a bunch of times when I just really didn't feel like flipping her. And so I'm going to entertain the other standby options such as Destructive Flow to pay 2 blue out of my hand and bounce my opponent's board the turn that they hit me. So it'll be good against Knights, or possibly something like Death Sentence for the Queen. Just kill something else when they attack me and gain some life back, as those are really the only, like, Rush is one of the things you have to worry about that's not Death Scythe. And then I played 1 Horn in case the game goes long, reshuffle my deck back in. If I have to draw my Spears and then, like, they get discarded to Nathardalepse or whatever, I can just shuffle them back in. Horn gets sided out a lot. If the matchup is kind of fast, then Horn's an easy side out. I played 41, so it's just an extra card. So it's not that great, not unnecessary. Moving down to the side was a little bit of a rush before the event. I wasn't actually planning on playing it, but I loaned my deck that I was going to play tonight to a friend, so I had to kind of throw together a side real quick. So 3 Keen Sense, obviously there because we're weak to split, we know it. We're going to play 3. It needs to go to 4. My only loss on the night was to Gwenning into a second split when I would have killed him the next turn. So it happens, whatever. Death Scythe is for opposing Swiftness rulers, just to keep it off. It's an extra +2/+2 to Kaguya the turn that you're ready to kill them. This deck does play similar to a Regalia deck that fetches their Regalia, so to speak, out of their deck and then just kind of crushes you with it. Crime and punishments are there. They're all-purpose. They can catch J-Rulers. They can catch things that you don't like Wyvers or whatever. Just get them off the field. Merry Bells are obviously for destroying opposing Death Scythes because we are very much a flip and kill you deck. Unlike the Regalia decks where it's usually flip, kill you over 2 turns, this is flip, kill you in 1 shot. We don't have any interest in not having and needing a second attack to win the game, unless that second attack is coming from a Servant of Kaguya that's already sitting in play. 2 Dream of Juliets, mostly there for addition hate. I know Habakiris are kind of a problem. Blinking an attacker or blocker could be relevant if they have 1 flyer that isn't 2 or less that we can just get Heavenly Feathered Robe when we J activate and get it out of the way. 2 Glimpse of Kaguya was just the last thing to kick in. It's never bad to have them sitting around when you are playing any kind of blue-based deck. God's Arts are a thing. Randomly stopping bows, whatever. Like, it's a fine 2-up to slot in. Honestly, maybe the glimpses come out for Keen Senses because I don't know terribly how much any God's Art actually affects this deck.
Yeah, not yet.
So yeah, I'll probably shift out one of the glimpses for a Keen Sense, and maybe the other one for a Crime and Punishment. I'm even probably going to think about putting Thunders into the side, as there were a couple situations where I did my damage calculation and I was looking at 3,600 out of 4,000. I won those games because I had either like Aqua Magic Tempest to reset the border, something to get me the extra 1 turn I needed to get 1 more stone to flip and kill. So definitely the deck overperformed as far as I'm concerned. I had a lot of fun with it. It's so much fun to play, and it's a kind of a Regalia deck that Blazer can't deal with because you're flipping, you're killing, you don't care. And then it is also nice that you can defensively J activate, and you're still probably threatening a 2-turn kill just because of Kaguya getting plus 200 for every treasury item you have, even if you are just getting robes and branches to keep yourself safe.
Okay. Alright. So this is a pretty solid deck, you know, guys. Making more videos soon. Every time we come to this local, get a new deck profile. Y'all need it, man. I know there's not a lot of videos out there, so now you know, I'm gonna leave y'all with this is in the top 4. And like I said, more videos to come. Alright. Peace.